What's up, guys? And today's a little bit of a different intro than what you guys are used to. We're at a scrapyard here in Portugal. I see Christian Smith and a few other channels do scrapyards, so I thought I'd show you guys what's here in Portugal. And I tell you what, guys, it is like stepping back in time. $190, 84 190, look at that. That's a proper classic there. Does it have any rust in it? No. But is the paint burnt? Yes. That's how it is over here, guys. E36, wagon, a couple of Rovers. I think that's where they belong anyway, these Rovers. Wow, look at those. The 216s or 214s, whatever they were. How old are they? I haven't seen one of them in years. Oh, look, there's a 86C Polo, a Vento here, or a Jetta if you're from the States. A couple of Mark IIs. Oh wow, this is an early, that's a Type 19. And I think it's probably going to be a GTD as well, a non-intercool one probably. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it is. With the airbox a lot of people want. Early type. Again, I mean, it's in the scrapyard. I can't really see any rust on it. It's a shame it's in here. I'm not a fan of this this green. Wow, big bore exhaust. Oh look, a set of Momos maybe. Yeah, they are as well. A set of 14-inch Momos, or are they 13s? Oh no, they're 13s, wow. Oh, it's got a set of yellow shocks on it actually, and red springs. I wonder if they're Conies. Open the boot up. Oh, okay, it's got the shelves in good condition actually with the support there, the carpet one. Adjustable, no, these are not adjustable. There's another one as well, burgundy red one. A CL. These are Hellas, but I think they're cracked. That's probably gonna be a 1.6, I think 1.3 actually. Yeah, it is 1.3 with a single headlamp grille. Plastic door cards. Oh yeah, they're plastic, they're not cards. The later cars here had plastic door cards, which are quite cool, so they don't kind of corrode and stuff. What else is here of interest? Fiat 500. Look, an Uno. Wow, when was the last time I saw an Uno? There's another one there as well. Oh wow, there's a Mark 1 Uno here. Damn. Oh, bangers here. What's that, Citroen AX as well? Yeah, it is as well. Wow. Wow, is that a Datsun? Wow, look at this. This is like, what's it even doing here still? What year is this even? If you guys know in the comments. Oh no, it's a Toyota, it's not even a Datsun, it's an old Toyota. Oh look, it's a Morris Minor. What, there's some real classic cars here. Look at this. This is Austin Healey, I think. It's an old Merc, 123, I think that is. Two CVs, quite a few of them. Renault 4, a Talbot Samba. Look at this poor Beetle, man. Definitely been, there's nothing left of this. I wonder what this thing is. Look at the condition of that. Look at the bumper. Being a free stud, I think this is Citroen as well. Let's look under the bonnet. that opens up. Look at that, it looks like sofas in there. Oh, it doesn't open. I wonder if the bonnet will flip. Looks like it flips backwards. No, I can't get it open. Oh, there you go, 404. Look at that. That is actually a pretty impressive front end, actually. 205. When was the last time you saw one of those on the road, let alone in the scrapyard? So I haven't done too badly today. They've had 3 Mark 2s here. I've taken a few bits and pieces that I need for Project Freebie, which we'll be jumping into in a minute. I thought I'd show you guys the kind of scrapyards we have around here and the scrapyard hunting for bits and pieces. That's my good friend Nelson Silver. And that's it, guys. All right, so let's jump over to the workshop and then get on with Project Freebie and show you guys what I'm going to be doing next. So we're back, but we're not back at the workshop. We're actually back at home. It's a lot quieter and a cleaner surface to work on actually at the moment than at the workshop. And we're going to be jumping into a how-to. And actually, I've got these clocks, these 16 valve clocks. I've got this set of early ones. They were given to me very kindly. And yep, and as you can see, it's a 2-plug type. And the car, Project Freebie, is actually, you know, a 1991. So it's a single type, similar to what's on the Mark III, or identical to what's on the Mark III almost, apart from a few little bit variants because of the indicators and a few other little bits, but generally the plug is very similar to the Mark III. So what I'm going to do is actually we're going to reverse this so that we're going to turn this single plug into a two plugs, and I'm going to show you guys step by step on how to do that. But actually, before we get into that, I'm very excited to show you guys my first product here on Resto Designs. Yes, there may be some merch, t-shirts and stuff, and I really haven't kind of got into that because I want to do it right when I do it. So I'm happy with designs and stuff, and not do some half-hearted designs, merch-wise, t-shirt-wise. But this, I've actually gone through a few variants of this. So we've made this a lot thicker. I think it's at least about 3 mil, if not a bit thicker than that. So it's very, very sturdy. It's not going to break. So as you can see, here's the original net that kind of stops all the leaves and stuff going in, but you still do get a lot of dust, as well as also you get a lot of noise going into the cabin with just this there. So as you can see, hopefully it's a perfect size there. All you need to do off your original one is actually pull this little locator pin, and as you can see, that just literally, that will actually slide straight into there. It's actually even perfect in the way it holds it in place. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, so there's a few benefits in running this. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys at the end of the video how I mount this up and what the filter looks like. But for now, let's put this to one side and carry on with the wiring. So I've got everything I need here, which is the Mark II loom, and obviously the 2 plugs that we went to the scrapyard for. So I guess the first thing we've got to do actually is quite painfully cut. All right, so let's get into wiring this. So I'm going to start off with the black plug, and because it's got only 4 wires on this one, because it hasn't got MFA. That might be something I'll add on later on, but for the moment, I'm going to go with this as just to get it working, no MFA, and then later on, maybe put the outside temp and the rest of the MFA functions into it. So like I said, we're going to start off with this one. It's only got 4 wires. So the first one with this little notch at the top, this one here is high oil pressure. This is alternator, igniter, warning light. And then at the bottom, this one is going to be the low oil pressure warning, which is the blue and black. And this black one here at the end, pin 7, is the main power. So, and this is pretty easy. So I'm going to start off with this one, plug U1. Look at it from this orientation, 1, 2, 3, the yellow wire is for the high oil pressure. So that's the first thing we'll do. Now moving on to the next one. So the next one across again with the notch at the top, which is pin 5, which is this blue wire, goes on to plug into the fuse box U2, and it's pin 12, which again is a blue wire, so they actually color match. So that's the top two done. Now we're going to move to the bottom one, which is the low oil pressure one. So it's location 4 on this plug, which goes to plug U1, and it's location 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is this one, which is a black, which is the red and white wire. So now for the last one on the black plug, which is the bottom row pin 7, which is the black wire, which is the main key 12, that goes onto U1, which is the one again, that one there, and location 4, which actually color codes the black wire, which goes onto there. So I'm hoping there's only one black wire. Yep, there is only one black wire. So that makes it a little bit easier. That's the black plug done with 4 wires. That was nice and easy. Now we're going to move over to the white plug. And again, we'll work with this little notch at the top. And I separate the wires, bend them down to make my life easier. Okay, so again, with the little notch at the top, pin number 3, which is this red wire. This is permanent 12, so that obviously the clocks always have the time on it, even when the ignition is off. And that goes to plug U2, and it's location 11, which is color coded, so it's actually a red wire. And I'm sure I've only got one red wire here. Yep, we do. Okay, so then it's nice and easy. All right, so let's move along to the next one, which is, again at the top, it's pin number 4. It's the red and black wire, and that's a taco one, and that goes on to U1, location 6, so which is there, which is the green wire, which I think we only have one green wire because the other one's green and white. Okay, so next now is going to be pin 5, again at the top, which is a brown wire, which is the earth for the gauges, and that goes on to plug U2, location 13, which is right here at the end, which is a brown and white wire. For some reason, these didn't actually have it, so I've had to actually take this from another set of loom, and I've actually had to put that wire in. Okay, so now we're on the last pin, which is pin 5, with the notch at the top, which is this yellow and red wire, which is the coolant gauge. So that goes on to plug U2, location 9. It's actually color coded, so it's the same color. Yellow and red. That's all done. So now we can move on to the bottom set of wires, and there's 4 here. Pin 1, it's a blue and white wire, which is for the main beam lights. When you've got the light on the main beams, it flashes up, and that goes on to U2, and that's pin 7, which is, so U2 plug, location 7, which is actually color coded. It's blue and white, and there's only one blue and white wire here, so that's pretty straightforward. So moving right along, now we've got pin 5, which is a purple and black wire, which is the fuel level gauge, and that goes on to U1, location 12, which on the plug is actually blue, and because we've already done the other blue wire, it's the remaining blue wire, so that's nice and easy. Along to the next pin, which is pin 6, which is this grey and blue wire, which is the illumination one. So when you turn the light switch on, this is what comes on, as well as when you kind of dim it and stuff, it goes to this wire, and that goes on to plug U1, location 14, which is a grey wire. And we've only got one grey wire on, so just left to solder this on, and then we've just got one wire left. And now the last wire on this white plug at the bottom, which is pin 7, blue and red wire, which is the indicator signal for the clocks for when you indicate, and that goes on to U2, location 6, which is this green wire here. And that's it, and because we've used the other green wire, it'll be the one that's left. And we're done, and just literally to solder this up, and then tidy up the loom slightly with some felt tape, and actually go and put this on the car. We can test this, and at the same time, I'll show you the pollen filter, it mounted, and what's involved. So here we have the finished thing, all wrapped up, looking neat and tidy. So as you can see, got the CE2 fuse box on one end, and the CE1 clocks on the other end. And I've also added a bunch of wires and also fitted them into their right locations for the MFA. So 2 of these are going to be for the outside temp, one of these is going to be for the oil temp, and then the other 4 are actually for the MFA itself. I think one's reset, one's position 1 and 2. I don't know what the others, I think mode and one's an earth or something. So, but that goes on to another plug. But yes, so what I'm gonna need to do is at some point, I'm gonna have to go to the scrap yards because these kind of pins are quite unique because they're only kind of one-sided, if that makes sense. I'm gonna have to go to the scrap yard and find another early car and cut a plug so that I can actually de-pin these particular ones, because obviously I'm going to need another 6 or 7 wires. So yeah, if I find another white one, I'm quids in, and I can just then populate the ones I need to put on there and add that on. So then I've got a full working MFA. Also, the stalk is on order as well, but that's going to be for a later date. So now we're going to move over to the workshop and actually fit this into the car and make sure that there's no issues. Also, before that happens, actually, I'm going to make sure I cover up all these ends so there's no shorts or anything dangerous. But also, let me show you the pollen filter again and the actual housing and the filter that's actually come with the kit. So this is the filter, which is a man filter, and also I've also noticed that this actually, if you're careful, you can actually peel the original one off the bottom here. There we go. And actually, see, there you go. It's important to have the seal on there. So that was actually transferable. And now, like I said, I'll show you guys the filter. There's a part number there. And shows you the fitting instructions. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm quite excited actually to go and actually get this fitted onto the car. So yeah, let's pack this up and let's go move over to the car and actually get this mounted, as well as get these clocks mounted. So back here at the workshop, really looking forward to actually getting these clocks in. So what I've done is I've got to drop the fuse box, which I've done already, and also pull the little slider out. Also, I've disconnected the battery. It's an important thing to do before you drop the fuse box. Yep, so I'll just disconnect those. Now let's get the conversion loom. Here it is. Now quickly just plug these in. And I'll be able to test it, and hopefully I'll have no burning or smoking or anything. It will be all good. So they're all in. Just lock that bit in. Now connect the battery terminal back on. Okay, so that's a good sign. The clock's come on. Now let me turn the ignition on. I should get some red lights, hopefully. There we go. So that's perfect as well. And now let's crank it and see if the RPM works. Actually, a few things I need to check as well. Make sure the indicator works. Look at that. That does work. And the flash. All right, so that's working perfectly. Now, I'm going to strip all this down so I can get the final look and actually get a full perspective of how it looks, especially with these colored dials. I think they look pretty cool. So yep, I'm looking forward to see the finished product actually mounted up and all in place. So that's it, all mounted up, and I'm liking that a lot. Definitely with the 16 valve clocks, my little 16 valve gear knob. And also I cut up a spare fuse box cover to mount the oil pressure gauge with a plug at the back of it. The view is a bit limited, but it's just to keep an eye on it. This is not permanent. I've got another idea for, I might get the mini fizz ones, or somebody actually makes like an LCD screen that fits in there, like a color LCD screen, what works off the MFA, and you can kind of go through graphs and all the rest of it there. So that might be an option later on in the year. So that's going to be only temporary. That's just while I run the engine in and make sure every so often that the oil pressure is where it should be. Now we're going to move over and actually do the pollen filter. So I'm going to show you guys what the fit and finish is of the pollen filter. So let's remove the rain tray. And I've forgotten almost how nice this colour looks with this little red tinge in it. Hopefully you can just about make out kind of the red the redness in it. It's gonna look so cool when the whole car's resprayed. All right, so here's the original cover. Let's pull this clip off. Just remove it off. There we go. And now, moment of truth. As you can see, it's a nice tight fit here. There you go, it's slotted in perfectly. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then here, it lines up perfectly as well. Now I'm just going to need 2 hands to put the clip on. And there you go, it's all clipped in, it's very secure. So yeah, so that's my first Resto Designs product that is going to be up. If you guys want this, you can message me on Facebook at Resto Designs. There's a link in the description probably, as well as on kind of like the homepage. There'll be like a link to the Facebook. So you can message me on there and I will deliver this worldwide, and it will come with a filter as well. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on that notification bell and be safe guys.